I've spent so much time pretending like it doesn't matter, but in truth, my mind is consumed by thoughts of you every waking moment, and it's becoming hard to hold it in any longer. The silence between us is louder than the words I've been holding back. I want to speak what my heart feels, but the fear of losing you keeps me quiet. My thoughts about you have turned into a tangled mess, so wild and intense that I can no longer keep them locked away. They're screaming to be heard. You have invaded my every thought. I've tried to push it aside, but the truth is, I can't help but think about you constantly, and it's getting harder to hide. Every time I try to hold back my feelings for you, they break free in unexpected moments like an ocean crashing against the shore, overwhelming and unstoppable. I've been hiding behind a mask of indifference, but deep down, I know my heart is filled with emotions I can no longer contain. There's a fire inside of me, fueled by thoughts of you, and it's growing bigger with every passing day. I'm no longer able to put out the flames. You've become the center of my universe, and no matter how much I try to focus elsewhere, my mind keeps returning to you. I can't hold it back anymore. Each day, I find myself slipping further into the thoughts I've tried so hard to suppress. It's as if the universe has conspired to make me feel everything for you. The more I try to ignore these feelings, the more they bubble to the surface. They're impossible to ignore, and they're becoming my reality. There's a voice inside me urging me to stop pretending, to stop hiding from what's true. And the truth is that I'm consumed by thoughts of you in ways I never imagined. I've been holding my feelings close to my chest, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep them hidden. You've touched my soul in ways I can't explain. Every time I think I've got a hold of my emotions, they break free like a wild storm, crashing over me with the force of everything I feel for you. The urge to confess has been building up inside of me for so long that I can hardly contain it anymore. My heart is telling me it's time to speak up. I've spent so much time convincing myself to stay quiet, but the truth is, my heart refuses to stay silent any longer. You've awakened something in me that I can't ignore. Every thought I have of you feels like a puzzle piece that belongs, and I'm no longer willing to pretend that I don't see how perfectly everything fits. I'm so tired of holding back, pretending that I'm not completely captivated by everything about you. It's time to let it all out and stop pretending I don't care. The feelings I have for you have been buried for too long, and now they've surfaced with an intensity that I can no longer control. I never imagined that thoughts of you would take over every aspect of my life, but here we are. It's like a river running wild inside of me. I've kept my emotions locked away, hidden beneath layers of indifference, but now they've become too strong to ignore. Your presence has left a mark on me that I can't erase. Every thought of you fills me with a yearning I never expected. I used to be able to keep my distance, but now you're all I can think about. You've occupied every corner of my mind, and I'm no longer able to pretend otherwise. What I feel for you is something I've tried to suppress, but no matter how much I try, my heart keeps telling me to let go and speak up. The truth is, every time I see you, every time I hear your name, I feel something deep inside of me stir, and it's becoming impossible to keep it hidden any longer. There's a depth to my feelings that I've never allowed myself to acknowledge, but now every thought about you pulls me deeper into a space I can't escape. I've been holding back because I'm scared of what might happen if I let you see how deeply you've affected me, but now I'm ready to take that risk. Every time I try to push my feelings down, they only rise up stronger. You've become a part of me in ways that I can't hide any longer. You've awakened something in me that I can no longer ignore. My thoughts of you are louder than ever, and I'm no longer able to keep quiet about it. I used to think I had control over my feelings, but with you, it's different. You've taken over my heart and mind in a way that I can't explain or deny. The more I try to hold back, the more my feelings for you grow. It's like a fire that refuses to be extinguished, no matter how hard I try. There's a constant pull towards you that I can no longer ignore. It's as if everything inside of me is telling me that this is something worth pursuing. I've tried to keep my thoughts in check, but the reality is they're completely consumed by you. It's as if nothing else matters anymore. Every time I try to focus on something else, my mind drifts back to you. It's like you've become a permanent fixture in my thoughts. There's no escaping it. You've taken over my mind in a way that I can't explain. I've tried to resist, but it's no use. My heart is yours, whether I like it or not. The more I think about it, the more I realize that I've been fooling myself by pretending I don't care. The truth is, you're all I think about, and it's time to admit it. I've spent so much time pushing my feelings aside, but now they're spilling out uncontrollably. You've become my every thought, and I can no longer pretend otherwise. It's like you've unlocked a door in my heart, and now I can't close it. Every thought of you makes me realize just how much I've been holding back. I've been so afraid to let my guard down, but every time I think of you, that fear melts away, replaced by a longing I can no longer keep hidden. The more I try to deny it, the more I realize how deeply my feelings for you run. I'm done hiding from what's so obviously true. I can't stop thinking about you, no matter how hard I try. You've invaded my thoughts, and I'm no longer able to keep pretending like it doesn't matter. I never realized how much power you would have over me, but now it's clear. Every thought, every feeling is all about you, and I'm ready to embrace it. I've been keeping my distance, hiding behind my own doubts and insecurities, but the truth is, I can't deny what I feel for you any longer. You've taken up residence in my mind, and no matter how much I try to ignore it, you're there, constantly occupying my thoughts, filling every space in my heart. It's like the more I try to push you away, the stronger my feelings for you become. There's no denying it anymore. You're everything I think about. You've made me feel things I didn't know were possible, and now I can't stop thinking about you. It's like you've taken over my soul, and I'm powerless to resist. There's no point in pretending I don't feel something deep inside for you. Every thought of you makes it clear that I'm in over my head, and I don't mind. I used to tell myself that I didn't care, but the truth is, I think about you constantly, and it's time to stop lying to myself. I've been running from my feelings, but with each passing day, it becomes harder to ignore what's right in front of me. You've taken over my thoughts. I've tried to stay detached, but my heart has other plans. You're all I think about, and the more I try to resist, the stronger my feelings grow. I've hidden my feelings for so long that they've turned into a storm inside of me, and now it's impossible to keep it quiet any longer. I've tried to bury my thoughts about you, but they've come to the surface, stronger than ever. I can no longer pretend that I don't care. Every time I think I've got a handle on my emotions, they surprise me. You've become a constant presence in my mind, and I'm done pretending it doesn't affect me. It's impossible to ignore how much I think about you. You've taken over my thoughts in a way that I can no longer deny. You've turned my world upside down, and now every thought, every feeling is consumed by you. I can't stop it, no matter how hard I try. The more I try to ignore my feelings, the stronger they become. It's as if my heart is no longer my own. It belongs to you whether I like it or not. You've made your way into my heart, and now I can't seem to get you out of my head. Every thought leads me back to you, and it's time I accept that. I can no longer deny it. You've taken over my mind, and every thought I have is about you. It's time to stop pretending and let the truth unfold. You've become the one thing I can't stop thinking about, And now I'm finally ready to admit that I'm done holding back. I've tried to ignore how much you mean to me, but every time I close my eyes, I see you. It's time to stop pretending like you're not the center of my thoughts. I can't keep hiding what's true. Every part of me is screaming to be open, to admit that my mind is consumed by thoughts of you, and I can't fight it anymore. You've taken root in my heart, and now every moment of my day is filled with thoughts of you. It's impossible to pretend like I don't feel something powerful anymore. The more I think about you, the more I realize that I've been holding back for far too long. My heart is no longer willing to stay silent about what it feels for you. I've spent so much time hiding my feelings, but now I see that trying to hold them in only makes them grow stronger. You're all I think about, and it's impossible to deny. There's a quiet yearning that's been building up inside of me, and every time I try to ignore it, it only gets louder. You're all that occupies my thoughts now. You've become the melody in my mind, and I can't stop replaying the moments we've shared. Every thought about you makes me want to say what's in my heart.